Hello, I am Sergeant First Class Smith. I am here to give you your finance brief. So we're going to talk about several different topics today, but what we're going to start with is your LES. Every soldier gets an LES, and I can't stress to you how important it is for you guys to know how to read your LES, because when you go and you tell your unit or your squad leader that, hey, I've got a pay problem, the first thing they're going to say is, did you read your LES? So we're going to start by talking about how to read that LES. First, you find it at My Pay. So whenever you go into your AKO, you should have a link that says, hey, here's your My Pay information, and go and log into it. You can log into it with your CAT card, and you're going to have a couple of different options. That's where you change your account information for you to be able to change your routing and your account. Whenever you change that information, you're going to be able to balance your TSP and your retirement account, everything there. All of your pay stuff is handled at My Pay, which goes directly to DFAS, not to the unit. Next, you're going to click on your LES. You can print those. I believe that they still show every 12 months or the history of 12 months. And so you'll select the most recent if that's the one that you're working with. The very top of your LES is going to be your administrative information. It's going to be your name, date of birth, date of rank, DOD number, all of that information. That is simply just to verify who you are. It is very important that you ensure that that information is correct, because you don't want that, especially your date of rank, to be incorrect, or your date of entry, your base pay entry date. Those are very important information for your retirement. So make sure that that information is always current. Next, we're going to move down to this middle section of your LES. On the far left column, you're going to have all of your base pay, your BAH, your BAS, all of that information. That is simply just kind of your FYI, hey, here's the pay that you're receiving, and that's going to be pretty much the same based on how many days you've drilled or how many days of orders you've had. So that's where all of that information is. Don't freak out if your BAS and your BAH are different amounts. That is based on whether you have dependents or not. There's a couple of different categories for that. So, just watch your BAH information there. The next column as you move over is going to be your deductions. So that's where you're going to have your taxes removed. As an Oklahoma National Guardsman, you do not pay state taxes on your military income. However, you do pay federal taxes. So that's where your tax information will come out. That's where your GI Bill, or not your GI Bill, your SGLI payment will come out, and any other allotments that you have set up to come out of your pay, that's where that will come out of. And if you are making contributions to your BRS, that's where that will show up as a contribution. So that's where all of your deductions come out. Go over to the far right column, and that is where you're going to see everything, all the adds and subtracts and everything, to get your total amount of what is going to be put into your bank account. That's the very bottom number is what you should see in your bank account. Now, go on down to the very bottom section where it's a bunch of wording that confuses everybody. You're not alone in being confused in this. That is where they put all of the mumbo jumbo that tells you exactly what they've done to your bank or to your pay account. If you end up with a debt, it will tell you exactly what they're subtracting from your pay account, and it will also tell you exactly why they're subtracting it. So if it's you've lost equipment, it'll say equipment loss, or a flipple, which is another term that supply will use for you. But that's where that information is going to show up. It will also break down if you were doing drill, we have MUTAs, and that is the base pay for one duty day. And typically, you will have 2 MUTAs in one drill day. So a morning MUTA and an afternoon MUTA. If you have a MUTA 2, that is going to be 2 days of base pay. That does not include BAH and all of that. It is just your base pay. If you have a MUTA 6, then that is going to be 6 days of your base pay. So it will break all of that down for you and show you what MUTAs you were counted for, what MUTAs you weren't, if you were counted AWOL, things like that. If you end up with a blank LES, that simply means that something administrative was done to your account. So if that middle section is completely blank, that means something has been done to your account. Go down to the very bottom section that we're talking about, and that is where you will see the explanation as to what has happened to your account. A lot of times this happens because somebody's gotten married or divorced, and so their dependency status has changed, and they're either getting BAH with dependents or without when they qualify for BAH on orders, or maybe you've been promoted or advanced, and that will show up there. So a blank LES is nothing to worry about. It's just simply saying, hey, we've done something to your account, and now we're going to annotate. You can see what we've done. The next thing that we're going to talk about is some of the resources that you as a soldier has for financial guidance. I will talk about one of my favorite websites to go to first, because it's kind of a one-stop shop for us soldiers. It's USAA. And I know everybody's heard of USAA and that you've seen the commercials on TV and all of that. But USAA has a lot of hidden gems that a lot of soldiers don't know about. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I am still learning about resources that they have. So USAA is not only a banking system for us to use, they are a insurance company. They handle both or all home, life, health, vision, dental, renters, motorcycle insurance, all of that. You can actually get health insurance, secondary health insurance, or what they call a bridge policy through USAA. So if you are in between jobs and you don't want to do TRICARE, you can do a bridge policy through USAA. They also have financial counselors. So those financial counselors can help you plan for retirement, buying a home, your kids' college, any of that stuff. Investments, you can do Roth IRAs, 401ks, any of those retirement accounts through USAA, and they have financial counselors that will actually be able to help walk you through that process and give you really good financial advice on that. The next website that we're going to talk about is AFMA, Alpha Alpha Foxtrot Mike Alpha Alpha. That is a life insurance policy. This website is very important to me because they have policies that will pay out if you meet your demise in a combat zone. A lot of civilian life insurance policies will not pay out in the event that you were deployed and in a combat zone. These policies will. They are strictly for military members. They are a great rate. You can get an additional $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 for your family, whether it's your spouse or your kids, to help plan for their future in the event that you meet your demise, especially in a combat zone. But they'll also pay out if you're here at home. So they're great policy to have. You can do a term policy, which means it's a short amount of time, maybe 4 or 5 years, or you can do a whole life policy, which means that you will just make payments on that life insurance policy throughout your entire life, and then it will eventually start to act as a savings account. So once you meet the base amount of what your initial policy is, so if it's a $400,000 whole life policy, once you invest $400,000 into that policy, it then starts to accrue a balance, and that's extra money that goes into that policy for the rest of your life, that whenever you pass and your family draws that, they get that additional money. So if you have the opportunity to get a whole life policy, I highly recommend that you do that. But you can certainly seek a financial counselor who is certified in giving financial advice for that. The next website we're going to talk about is Military OneSource. You should have a sheet in your packet for Military OneSource, or you have received a briefing for Military OneSource. This website is crucial for military members because they not only handle financial pieces for military members, they also handle special ed, helping spouses find jobs, resumes for both spouse and soldiers. But we're going to talk about the financial piece of it. They have financial counselors and advisors that they are contracted with to give soldiers and family members financial advice for free. This is important information for you guys to have because, especially being young soldiers, you may not have the funds to be able to pay a broker or a financial counselor. And so you can go to Military OneSource to be able to get that financial guidance from a certified financial counselor or advisor, and it not cost you anything, to help build up that portfolio to help you towards retirement or purchasing your home or buying a car. They also will help you file your taxes for free. Right now they're contracted through H&R Block, but they've contracted through other companies in the past. So contact Military OneSource to be able to help with your taxes, because there's no sense in paying for an expensive CPA whenever you can go through Military OneSource and get that free service for yourself and your family. The last topic that we're going to talk about is the government travel card. So as we talk about all of this stuff that you're going to, all these financial pieces that you're going to use throughout your military career, the one thing that is required by all soldiers to have is a government travel card. It is important for you to know that this government travel card is strictly for official government travel only. It is not a normal credit card. It is not to go and purchase uniforms or anything like that on. It is simply for government travel. It's to pay for your airfare, your lodging, and maybe food if necessary while on government orders, travel orders to a school or something like that. It is not for use to and from drill. It is not for just using throughout the month. It is strictly for official government travel. So don't go trying to abuse that, because you will get in trouble from unit, command, all of it. You go through some training, some online training for this government travel card, and they go into detail as to what this card can be used for. But I wanted to mention, hey, everybody is required to have a government travel card now, and I want to ensure that you guys understand it is for official government travel only. But with that, I'm going to close out the financial briefing and say that if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to your units, and they will be happy to assist you or help guide you to the direction to whoever can assist you if they are unable to. Have a nice day.